Mayor Pro Tem, we're about to start the meeting. If you want to do a final check.
Yes, I would.
Okay. There you go.
Thank
We
you.
can see you and we can hear you.
Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to the City Council meeting. Before Mayor Parker calls the meeting to order, we ask that you please silence all electronic devices. Council meetings are conducted for the official business of the City Council and to receive input from residents. Members of the public attending City Council meetings shall observe rules of decorum and shall not engage in disorderly conduct that interferes with the ability of others to observe or to participate in the meeting without disruption or fear of intimidation, threats, or hostility. Speakers who engage in any conduct or encourages such conduct that interferes with the meeting, including loud or prolonged yelling, screaming, clapping, or other noise-making acts, which will make it difficult for the City Council to conduct or continue with the meeting, will have their mic muted and will be removed from the chamber. For those of you who have requested to speak, there are 2 podiums in the chamber. Each podium has a countdown clock located to the speaker's right that will indicate how much time is remaining. A bell will sound when you have 30 seconds left. Before you begin your comments, please state your name. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette, and good morning, Fort Worth. We have a special guest with us today. Erin Weber is with us. She's a foreign exchange student from Canada that is visiting the Crane family for the next 2 weeks. And Michael's 2 daughters, Michaela and Mackenzie, are here behind me to join their friend Erin in gaveling us in. You can go ahead. Great job.
Today's invocation will be by Reverend Monica Bradley, Justice at the New Church, United Church of Christ. Please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the pledges of allegiance.
Good morning. I'm honored and humbled to be with you today. I acknowledge that I am from the Christian faith, and there may be various faith traditions represented here today, and some who may not practice, but we all are here to serve and love our love for humanity. Will you pray with me? Gracious and loving God, we thank you for this beautiful day and for the gift of creation. We gather here with hearts full of gratitude for the city of Fort Worth, a city of many voices, thriving communities, and vast opportunities. We offer thanks for each member of this council and the important work they will do today. Guide them, O God, as they serve the people of Fort Worth. Grant them wisdom and discernment to lead with integrity, courage, to make decisions that foster justice, equity, and compassion for those whose voices are too often unheard, for the least, the lost, the lowly, and the left out. Be present with these leaders today, strengthening and empowering them to use good judgment in their decision-making. May their deliberations be marked by a spirit of unity and collaboration as they face the pressing challenges that impact our neighborhoods: affordable housing, public safety, transportation, and the well-being of all residents. Strengthen their resolve to create policies that uplift the vulnerable, protect our environments, and foster opportunities for everyone to thrive. Bless this council with ears that listen deeply, minds that speak solutions, honoring the dignity of all people, and hearts that are instruments of your peace in every decision. May we always remember that as your children, we are created in your image to be good neighbors to one another. Hear our prayer, O God of many names, and together we say, amen.
Amen.
The United States
Our first items will be special presentations, with the first one being a recognition of the winner of Mayor Maddie Parker High School School Art Competition for 2024.
And if Jay and Jimmy would like to join me at the podium, that would be great. Where is Jay? I thought, there he is. Hi, how are y'all? So annually, we have our Fort Worth Mayor's High School Art Competition, and I get no credit other than to make sure students in our area high schools recognize the importance of the arts in our city. We've just completed our third annual event. As your mayor, Mayor Price also participated in this great cause. As you can see from our winning piece here, Ms. Belgavez, who could not be here today, so Jimmy is filling in her stead. You're doing a great job, Jimmy. Thank you. So who also competed in the competition. This community is so very fortunate to have so many wonderful artists, and we couldn't do this without the professionals that curate this wonderful competition. And when I say curate, I mean that. There are area professionals and curators from our best world-class museums here in Fort Worth that judge this competition. I am blown away every single weekend when you get to see these pieces of artwork by our students here across the city of Fort Worth. And what's remarkable is oftentimes you'll see repeat artists come back. Maybe they didn't win the first time, they come back the second or third time, maybe their senior year as they head off to college. So with that, I can turn it over to Laura or to Jay to talk about why you do this competition every single year. And then Jimmy, I don't know if I want to put you on the spot or not to talk about this wonderful piece of art, which is entitled Paperboy, and I'll give a presentation of a proclamation as well.
Yes, hi everyone, I'm Jay Wilkinson. I'm the gallery manager of Fort Worth Art Gallery. So Lauren actually started this program, I think this is like the 8th year that she's done this, and it is completely,
Come closer to the microphone.
yeah, sorry about that. It's completely created and funded and taken care of completely by her, and it is in order to celebrate the idea and the talents of the artists that we have in high school programs around here. And she has done an incredible job of lifting up these people for, years and years, and hopefully more into the future, And I just want to thank all the artists, all the students with all their talent, and then I also really want to thank the mayor's office for showing them that they have value in the pursuit of this. So that's incredible. Thank you.
Jimmy, you want to say anything on behalf of Belle? No? Go ahead.
Well, my friend Belle is a very amazing artist. I saw her making this piece, and it's so extraordinary. Much love and passion was brought into this piece, and the final result was truly amazing.
Yeah. And I might add that, and as we enter the next year in our brand new city hall and continue to have meetings there, I think there's opportunity to better display some of this artwork in that gallery space in the downstairs part of the city hall so that more individuals across the community. But if you really want to see great art, you should definitely visit Lauren's beautiful gallery there on Montgomery, Fort Worth and it is absolutely spectacular. And I think it's really special for these students to see their art pieces hanging in a real gallery as they embark on their lives as artists in the future. So Lauren, thank you so much for continuing to do this. And this is your plaque and prize issue. Absolutely.
Sorry, I kind of popped in here at the last minute. I went in the wrong entrance. But I wanted to just tell you guys a little bit more about Gallery of Dreams. We've talked about the Gallery Fort Worth Art, which is our brick and mortar across from Dickey's on Montgomery Street. But Gallery of Dreams was formed for an entire different reason. It was formed back in 2017 to create more funding and programming for the community. For artists, for students, we gave away over, I want to say $200,000 during COVID to artists just in Fort Worth and in the Rockport area primarily. We have done 8 years, like they said, for the high school show. We're getting ready to do our 9th year next year. We just finished a residency program for 3 months for a local artist that came in and used the space. So we can kind of consider ourselves, I guess, a mini museum, which is the reason I say that. While we do have these great art shows and we sell great artwork, all of the funds that we make at Fort Worth Art go back into funding Gallery of Dreams and the programming that we're doing to grow that program. So thank you. We're very honored to be here again. The artwork is always just absolutely incredible. This competition sees hundreds and hundreds of applicants. We select probably 30 or less for the show. And the one thing that we do that's extra special is the curators of the show are always selected to be either a curator or an executive from one of the major museums here in Fort Worth, so that we're also making sure that these students, when they're 30, can say not only did they win this competition, did they get to hang their art here, did their parents get to come and have validation for their art, but the mayor comes, and then the curator who selected their art is actually one of the highest ranking art professionals in our city. So it's a great event. So hope you can all follow and see what happens next year. Thank you.
Thanks for joining me. Great to see you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Next will be a presentation of special recognitions to the Fort Worth Fire Department, MedStar, and Neighborhood Services for community risk reduction.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. I'd love to take this opportunity here to recognize the great teamwork that occurs every day, sometimes even without our knowledge here at the city, but also beyond the city. I have 3 presentations here, and don't worry, it doesn't mean it's going to be 3 times as long. These are all the same, but they're specific to each team that is here today. We have our MedStar Mobile Healthcare team. We have our Fort Worth Fire Department here. And let's see, I thought I saw Frank. Where did Frank go? Okay, he's, stand up, Frank, okay, CEO of MedStar and our Neighborhood Services team here as well. So these 3 teams I'd like to recognize. And I'll read very quickly one of these here, so. All right, and it reads, special recognition, whereas, and this is for the MedStar one, MedStar Mobile Healthcare has been an essential ambulance provider in Fort Worth, Texas, and its surrounding area since 1986, providing quality clinical care, and whereas MedStar serves as a governmental administrative agency responsible for the administration and operation of pre-hospital emergency medical services and community risk reduction, focuses on proactive measures to prevent emergencies and enhance safety in the community. Through educational programs like Learn Not to Burn, fire safety, juvenile fire protection, and injury reduction, to the installation of window air conditioning units for vulnerable residents, which they all collaborated to do, CRR works to minimize the risk and reduce the need for emergency response. The team also engages in outreach to vulnerable populations to promote health, wellness, and safety awareness. These efforts aim to reduce emergency incidents and promote safer environments for all. And whereas it is important to recognize EMS in Fort Worth treated almost 1,000 patients for heat-related illnesses in 2023, some requiring transport to hospitals and others reaching critical condition. And whereas to address this need in the community, MedStar's Mobile Health Integrated Health team collaborated with Fort Worth Fire Department and installed window air conditioning units in the homes of at-risk and vulnerable individuals who have no other means to cool their residence. And last whereas, with the help from Fort Worth Fire Department Community Outreach, MedStar successfully installed over 130 window air conditioning units in the homes of Fort Worth residents during the summer season. Therefore, for their outstanding services to ensure safety and well-being for our community, City of Fort Worth recognizes MedStar Mobile Healthcare, the Fort Worth Fire Department, and our Neighborhood Services team. So y'all come over here. I'm going to pass this out to y'all. Oh, Jack, yeah, get those out. Thank you. We're going to get you yours here. In the meantime, would you like to say anything? It's your opportunity. Ooh, I'm good. Chief Grief, who's who are you pointing to? Okay, one at a time. Come on up.
I'll keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
Rick Hicks, Assistant Chief that oversees the community risk reduction, and they do good work every day, coming to work on weekends, weekdays, very committed, along with MedStar Neighborhood Services, collaborative effort, and sure makes me look good, fire department good, so appreciate y'all with your dedication and efforts.
Yes.
Thank you. Frank, I don't know if you want to say anything on behalf of MedStar?
Thank you. On behalf of the men and women of the MedStar Mobile Integrated Health Team, as well as all of our EMTs and paramedics that serve this community every day, day in, day out, this is a tremendous example of the future, of what is to come as we combine the organizations with MedStar and the Fort Worth Fire Department. We've had multiple conversations and meetings with the Community Risk Reduction Team, with our Mobile Integrated Healthcare Team, and this is a shining example of what is to come in Fort Worth. So hats off to everybody. We certainly appreciate our partners in the Neighborhood Service Organization and everyone that helped us help people, and that's really what it boils down to. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
I'll just say this is one of my first projects that I got to work on with the department, and it was exciting to work with MedStar and the fire department. Providing window AC units is just one of the resources that we provide for our residents and helping them to have a more livable community. So thank you.
Thank you.
We have a great integrated team, y'all. So round of applause for everybody. Take a big group shot. Okay, we need to slide on over. Is that enough for you? All right. Congratulations, everybody. Thanks, Rochelle. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Team Matt, good to see you.
Thank y'all for taking the time to come today. We appreciate it. Jeanette, before we move to the agenda, I wanted to recognize our students from the Key School and their administration. And I know that Mayor Pro Tem Gina Bivens, who is on remote with us today, getting over a little illness, wanted to make sure we made you welcome. So thank you so much for taking the time. It's really special to have you in our audience. Beth, or anybody else that wanted to say anything, you're welcome to. I know the students have Molly pens. This is the reason why we have these day meetings. It's easier for our students to come and participate in city government and learn a few things. And of course, if you have questions or comments after, I'll come down and say hello once the meeting is concluded and greet you properly. But just wanted to say thank you, and we're so glad that you're here today. Of course, thank you, of course.
Next will be items to be withdrawn from the consent agenda.
There are no items to be withdrawn from the consent agenda,
Items to be continued or withdrawn by staff.
and there are no items to be continued or withdrawn by staff.
Mayor, that gets us to the speakers on the consent agenda, and there's one.
Thank you, Adrian Smith.
Adrian Smith, District 6. I am one with the people. Nowhere in recorded history has placing the cart before the horse ever produced an effective outcome. Case in point, MMC 24-0920, ARPA Neighborhood Wi-Fi and Infrastructure Project. Although the gesture was good, the current reality of the investment is everything short of high-quality service. It truly has me scratching my head at what was given to communities in need, as it relates to the ideal of improving the quality of life for those who continue to be disregarded. $173,745,090 is what this city received as it relates to the COVID-19 pandemic recovery funds, only to give communities in need 2G Wi-Fi service at best, which 98% of the time doesn't even connect. There should have been a greater consideration, oversight, and financial investment plan implemented before making the final decision. Now, since we are in the last phase of the city seeking to spend its remaining allocation of ARPA funds, we find ourselves back at the point of where it all began. To the communities of Rosemont, Ash Crescent, Northside, Stop 6, and Como, you deserve better. And that's speaking to this the first agenda item. Self-explanatory. The Wi-Fi sucks in the communities. There's better Wi-Fi service in Iraq. "2G Wi-Fi shutdown began in 2012. 2G Wi-Fi connectivity was officially shut down April of this year. So if I named your community, your neighborhood, if you are representative of that particular locale, please, by all means, you need to update the Wi-Fi services for those communities. We're no longer operating under 2G, it's 5G. And in closing, got one more thing. Nice proclamation regarding the importance of art in its community. However, disrespectful, however, would how the Fort Worth Community Arts Center was treated as it relates to what it was to this city. Thank you.
That's the conclusion of our consent agenda item, speakers. Council? Got a motion on the consent agenda and a second. Any other discussion? Please vote. Motion carries.
Next will be announcement by city council members on upcoming and recent events, recognition of citizens, and approval of ceremonial travel if needed.
Thank you, Jeanette. Councilmember Flores?
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, very quickly. The Ashton Johnson Memorial Cloud Dancer Scholarship was held over at River Ranch, and this commemorates fallen U.S. Army soldier Ashton Johnson. Appreciate those folks getting together to help that family out. The Starbucks in the Stockyards on Northwest 28th Street hosted its Coffee with a Cop. Fort Worth Police Department Northwest Division had a good turnout. Next slide. Attended our monthly Fort Worth Stockyards Business Association at Joe T. Garcia's. Appreciation to them. The Fort Worth Public Library Northwest Branch had their festive Halloween Boo Bash. Lots of great costumes and good ofrenda altar as well. I joined Councilmember Crane over in D3 and enjoyed reading to pre-K students at Western Hills Primary School. Appreciate the invitation and thank you to those students. One announcement, we have the Dia de los Muertos in Fort Worth parade coming to us. Starts at 10 o'clock, goes through 11:30, festival right after the parade at 11:30 and runs to 5. And that is this Saturday. Hope to see you there. That's all I have.
Councilmember Bivens?
I wasn't sure my photos would make it in time, but the students you see in the audience are from Key School. You can go to the next slide. I was able to read to the students last week and had a fantastic time, as I have done in the past. They presented me with my ceremonial T-shirt, and I think there's one more slide. And I can tell you with certainty that in this group of students, Key has 150 students there. There are natural-born leaders there. We did more than me read. They questioned me about governance. They questioned me about participation. It was a delight. I can't be there today, but no one wants to see and hear me coughing. So that was my highlight of last week. And I want to thank the students for coming. I expect to see more of them in the future. Maybe we can get all 150 in before the end of spring. Thank you.
Thank you, Gina. Councilmember Williams?
Thank you. I just wanted to take a moment to recognize a couple of happenings in District 6. First of all, the Fire Station 16 groundbreaking was incredible. Thank you, Mayor and Councilmember Crane, for all of your support as we work with the fire department to get to this moment. It's so exciting to see a new station come to that part of Fort Worth. I'm thrilled to see all the amazing impact that our fire department will continue to make because of that facility. Next slide. Also was joined by the mayor and many of my colleagues to celebrate the opening of Tarleton State University's Fort Worth campus in their second building. And they're working on their third already. And so it's truly inspiring to see the incredible growth that's happening in District 6 and all the great work that district and Tarleton State is doing to educate folks in our district and in our city. Next slide. Wanted to give a quick shout out to Clark Road Neighborhood Meeting. They are a smaller neighborhood, but a very mighty one. And so I've never had a neighborhood meeting in someone's backyard until I met Clark Road. And so what an awesome. I love the Clark Road.
Fun fact, David Parker was raised on Clark Road.
Right. So
Hard for all I know.
it
I
may
don't know.
have been. I don't know. This neighborhood has many connections on this night, so it's an awesome neighborhood. Next slide. I also had the chance to visit my alma mater as TCU's Office of Diversity and Inclusion unveiled the latest TCU Portrait Project installment of the Charlie and Kate Thorpe portrait. And it was presented and created by 2022 Texas Artist of the Year, Letitia Huckabee. This artwork honors a former enslaved couple who supported both Adirond College and TCU. And the TCU Portrait Project aims to expand representation and address overlooked historical narratives through collaborations with local artists. By exploring diverse contributions and fostering community engagement, the project seeks to create more inclusive and representative university history. And so if you haven't had a chance to see these beautiful pieces of art and the stories that live on through Charlie and Kate Thorpe, please take time to visit TCU and take a look at these portraits. If you can't make it in the next few weeks, I believe these portraits will also be making an appearance in the Modern Art Museum. Next slide. I also wanted to shout out all of our neighbors and specifically the District 6 team for all of your help in continuing our District 6 litter days. We were able to clean up Risinger and Hewlin and Risinger and Garden Springs all the way to Crowley Middle School. So thanks again to our neighbors. We will be posting our next litter day soon, and so help us spread the word. And then last slide, I just want to give a public shout out and big thanks to Carmen Ochoa for her service to our office. She has an exciting new opportunity and will be entering into the nonprofit space as the marketing and events specialist for Meals on Wheels, Inc. of Tarrant County. And so we are sad to see her go, but also really thrilled by this new opportunity. And we're excited for all the many things that you'll continue to do for our community. And we'll both be in the charitable food service. So I look forward to working with you as I am at the Tarrant Food Bank and with you at the Meals on Wheels. We look forward to that. So congratulations and thank you for your service to the city. That's all, Mayor.
Councilman Martinez. Carmen.
I just have a few slides this morning. So if we can go to the next slide. Just want to thank Councilman Nettles for inviting us to the Poly High School Alumni Parade, homecoming parade. It was
Wow.
the 112th anniversary parade. Thank you, Councilman Crane, for joining us and for securing that really nice BMW convertible that you see on the left. So it was a really great event, huge turnout. From there, we went to La Gran Plaza. They're continuing their 20th anniversary celebration and also had a parade and an event inside the mall. And so there's me and Rachel in the middle in her Corvette, so it was a pretty cool ride. Next slide. During the week, we attended several fall festivals across District 11. Started out at Riverside Community Center for their Boo Fest. They had this really, there's no pictures there, but they had this really cool haunted hallway that I got to walk through. From there, I went to Andrew Dock Sessions to their Community Center Fall Festival. And so we got there a little bit early, but dropped off some candy. If you want to go to the next slide, dropped off some candy for them for later. And then we ended the evening at United Community Center's Polytechnic Center on Avenue I for their Halloween festival. They had some really cool activities there. Got to have some really good cotton candy, so I can't wait for next year. And that's all I have.
Thank you. I think that's the conclusion of our council presentations.
Next will be speakers on the non-consent items, Mayor, and I believe we have two.
Thank you. Bob Willoughby will be followed by Mike Hennifer. Okay. Mike Hennifer. Mike, come on down. You're fine.
Honorable Mayor and Council, I'm excited to be here. I am a past city council member of Carrollton, but on scale a little different than the great city of Fort Worth. You are about to consider a resolution giving votes to the Tarrant County Board of Directors for their appraisal district. Part of your city falls within the area of Denton County, and you have votes that you can give to the Denton County Board of Directors as well. Last year, you gave 30 votes to David Terry, and he was elected. And he is not seeking office this year, but I am, and I'm seeking his votes. So I'm here to garner his votes and hope that you would consider me worthy of your votes to be elected to the Denton County Appraisal District Board of Directors. Why am I qualified? In 1991, I established a company called Corporate USA Real Estate Services. We manage commercial real estate. In that period of time, we've managed 30 million square feet. We built out 50 million square feet of office space. And I personally handled during that time many appeals. I handled many formal appeals. I even instituted a few lawsuits. I understand the process. But owning a large company like that kind of lends itself to a guy who says, I kind of know it all. And I wouldn't go for a guy who thinks he knows it all. In fact, I think just the opposite is the guy that you want. And so my dad taught me all my life, where's my time? Oh, okay. All my life, he taught me that he'd rather be, and he coached me that I should be the man with all the right questions and not the man who thinks he knows all the answers. And so as a member of the board, I think I can ask the right questions, find problems. A good property manager finds problems, looks for them, and gets them early and knocks them out. And I think that's what I would do if I was on the board. I'd search for problems, try to make the board better, attack those problems, and fix them before they become large. That's my spiel, and I'd hope you give me your votes, and thank you for letting me approach you.
Thank you, Mike. And just as a note, the council will likely consider DCAD votes in November or December, just letting you know our timeline.
Wonderful.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bob, you can come down and speak. Just as a note, from now on in the future, you need to be in the chamber when I call your name to be able to speak.
This clearly goes to what I'm saying, even though it may not look like it for a second, okay? Matter of fact, if you want these kids knowing what's going on, there's something that we don't get real quick. If you notice, I don't know if anybody's seen a council agenda. That's okay, let's get the point across. On the left-hand side, there's a little number, that's the number of the deals. It's a blue thing. You hit it, it opens up to another page so you can learn more about these council agenda items. It doesn't say it on there, click here for more information, but you have to know that, okay? And I want to share that with you. That's what I need. When I click on the one I'm talking about, the resolution here, that if it wasn't for this man being down here, I wouldn't know any of these names that are running for this board here. So that's what I'm asking. You may not be able to make this, but you can go to the website and make it out clear. It doesn't announce any of the board members that you guys are going to vote for. Well, we vote for you. So I think you ought to let us know who you're voting for there and why you're voting for there. And if it is out there information, I surely don't know where it's at. I was unable to find it. A matter of fact, as far as giving information out, you're very, very vague about giving it. This doesn't say anything when you go. It really doesn't educate me. The same way the new schedule on the website doesn't say anything about the old schedule.
Bob, anything pertaining to this?
That hit a nerve right there. That hit a nerve. Thank you.
I'm in a great
that
mood.
hit a
I
nerve.
just like to keep the agenda moving.
Thank you.
That's the conclusion of our speakers on these items. Council?
Next will be Resolution 24-4578.
Councilmember Flores, sorry.
Thank you. Yes, Mayor, I move to approve item 24-4578 regarding the Tarrant Appraisal District with the city's 660 votes cast for Alan Blaylock.
For discussion? Please vote. Councilmember Blaylock, we appreciate your service. Gina's a yes. Motion carries.
Next will be M&C 24-0924 with staff report by Derek Hall.
Thank you. And we do have one speaker on this item. Only if there's opposition. To my knowledge, there is none. Derek, you can give your presentation first.
Thank you, Mayor Parker, members of the council. Just a brief presentation this morning. So this is, again, agenda item AX-24-004. Just by way of a little bit of project summary, this is an approximately 110-acre annexation, full-purpose annexation, owner-initiated. It does comply with all of the Texas local government codes as it relates to annexations. There is a related preliminary plat 24-048, and then a development agreement was executed in 2005. By way of a little bit of background information related to the land use analysis, the applicant is proposing commercial use. This is both consistent with the comprehensive land use plan of general commercial as well as the existing zoning. And again, the land size area is 78 acres and then a little bit more than 32 acres for the adjacent right-of-way. The Fort Worth Lab has prepared a fiscal impact analysis. Within the 10 years, there is a positive net impact of about $2.4 million. Over the course of 40 years, that positive net impact is about $39 million. So with that, staff is asking that Mayor and Council consider adoption of the annexation. This concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you, Derek, for your presentation. Councilmember Crane.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. Thanks, Ryan and Richard, for being here today. This is a great project, and I'll move to close the public hearing and act on the M&C.
Motion and a second. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next will be MNC 24-0939 with staff report by Robert Stearns.
Morning, Mayor and members of the council. My name is Robert Stearns, Economic Development Director. The purpose of this hearing is to receive public comment regarding the extension of the term of Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone Number 8, commonly referred to as the Lancaster TIF, and the approval of updated and amended project and financing plans for the Lancaster TIF. The ordinance and the amended plans are attached to MNC 240939. On October 2nd, 2024, the TIF board adopted a resolution approving updates and amendments to the plan based on the desire to extend the term of the Lancaster TIF to support additional projects that are necessary to the continued success of the district. In order for these projects to be implemented, the board recommended that the term of the Lancaster TIF be extended for an additional 20 years. In accordance with state law, notice of this hearing has been published in the Fort Worth Star-Telegram at least 7 days prior to today's date. Following any public comments, staff recommends closing the public hearing and adopting MNC 240939 and the attached ordinance, thereby amending the project and financing plan for Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone Number 8.
Thank you, Robert. Any questions for Mr. Stearns? Thank you. I think we can entertain a motion to close the public hearing and vote on the M&C.
Move. So move. Move to close the public hearing and vote on MNC 240948.
Got a motion and a second, council. I think we're actually 0939 MNC. Either way, you're good. I've got a motion and a second, council. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next will be MNC 24-0948 with staff report by Jennifer Dyke.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. My name is Jennifer Dyke, and I'm the Transportation and Public Works Director responsible for the Stormwater Management Program. The purpose of today's presentation is to discuss the fiscal year 25 stormwater utility fee increase and receive public comments. The M&C on today's agenda is to officially change the stormwater utility rates, which will be shown in today's presentation and which were included in the fiscal year 25 budget and community engagement meetings. Today, I'm going to provide a brief background on the stormwater program, summarize the need for and benefits of the fee increase, and how the increase will impact stormwater utility fee ratepayers. The stormwater program was created in 2006 in response to community concerns after devastating flooding caused the loss of 5 lives and impacted over 300 properties citywide in 2004. The stormwater program mission is to protect people and property from harmful stormwater runoff. The stormwater utility fee provides a dedicated source of revenue for stormwater work and is paid for based on the amount of impervious surface on each property in the city, with a few exceptions as shown on the slide. Our program works to fulfill our mission in 4 primary ways: by maintaining our drainage infrastructure, mitigating flooding and erosion hazards, warning about hazards, and reviewing development for compliance with city stormwater standards. The work we do improves community health and safety, advances sustainable growth and development, and improves the overall quality of life for our community. Our program has been performing condition assessment of our drainage infrastructure pipes for the last several years to proactively identify and prioritize rehabilitation needs to reduce the risk of pipe failure. Machine learning estimates that 6% or 59 miles of our drainage pipe mains have a high risk of failure. An actual condition assessment has identified between 5,000 to 57,000 linear feet of immediate to within 2 years need, estimated to cost between $42 and $170 million, depending on the rehab method. Last year's capital improvement plan allocated roughly only $12 million to pipe rehab over the next 5 years. Delayed drainage pipe rehab increases sinkhole risk, which can block stormwater conveyance runoff, backing up stormwater and increasing flood risk. Collapsed drainage pipes can also form sinkholes, creating hazards for vehicles, roads, and structures. Proactive rehab increases public safety, reduces emergency response, provides opportunities to partner and leverage resources, and provides more completed projects for the community. Stormwater program stakeholders understand the need for the rehab, but the group was not in favor of a large increase due to overall costs impacting all ratepayers citywide, especially large ratepayers. Due to these concerns, staff only recommends a 5% fee increase to be used to accelerate the delivery of pipe rehab projects. The last fee increase approved by City Council was for 15% and took effect January 2024. The revenue from the last increase is going towards phased citywide maintenance improvements, service level improvements, and large-scale phased flood mitigation improvements. The new fee increase would go into effect January 1st, 2025, and change the billing rate from $661 per month per billing unit to $694 per month per billing unit. The new revenue generated from the fee increase is expected to be $2.14 million in fiscal year 25 and $2.9 million in fiscal year 26, and provide the capacity to issue an estimated roughly $12 million in revenue bonds to tackle our most critical drainage pipe rehab needs. This table shows the impact of the 5% increase on stormwater utility ratepayers, including the top 20 ratepayers. The top line shows the impact on the average single-family homeowner. Their utility fee payment would increase by 33 cents each month, totaling an average annual increase of just below $4. The next 2 lines show the impact on small and medium-sized commercial ratepayers. Small and medium commercial ratepayers would pay roughly $5 to $55 more monthly and roughly $67 to $660 more annually. The remaining lines show the impact on the top 20 ratepayers. The City of Fort Worth is the largest ratepayer of the stormwater utility fee. Large ratepayers like the City of Fort Worth and Fort Worth ISD would pay roughly $3,500 to $5,000 more per month, totaling roughly $42,000 to $60,000 more per year. Stormwater utility fee credits are available for all non-single-family ratepayers for specific activities such as detaining more stormwater than required to help mitigate flood risks, benefiting water quality, and educating students and the general public about stormwater. This table specifically shows the impact of the increase on the 4 tiers of low occupancy residential ratepayers, which is essentially single-family residents and duplexes. The monthly average rate increases range from 16 cents per month to 65 cents per month based on residential square footage, with again 33 cents per month increase being the average. And with that, I'll take any questions or feedback.
Any questions for Jennifer, council? No, thank you. Jennifer, you and your team do such a fantastic job. I know this took an immense amount of work over the last several years, and our residents truly are safer. So thank you very much for your time and dedication to the city of Fort Worth.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mayor, I do have a
Mayor,
comment.
go ahead.
This is my new little signal. But Jennifer, I want to thank you for the hard work that you and your team have put into this. Most people on the council should be aware that when the rains came in 2018, 4 people lost their lives in my council district. And so I am very supportive. I think the increase to the small user is minimal. And for the sake of safety, you'll find me in support.
Thank you.
Council, I can entertain a motion. A motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, please vote. Councilmember Larsdorf, try one more time. Thank you. Is it stuck? Yeah. Motion carries.
Next will be ZC-24-075.
We have one speaker on this item, Logan Ellis, to speak only if there's opposition. There, to my knowledge, there is none. This is in Councilmember Beck's district, who's not present today. If somebody wants to make a motion on this item.
Mayor, I have a statement from.
Oh, of
Councilwoman
course.
Beck.
Thank you, Jeanette.
Councilwoman Beck just wanted to share that she's met with the stormwater team and is comfortable moving forward, that this will not create any additional stormwater concerns. As for the power line across concerns, before construction development services will examine the existing power lines to ensure that development would be safe prior to permits being handed out. For construction workers' safety, there isn't anything in our code that dictates that, but state law has guidelines that need to be in place for the protection of workers with power lines in the area. And with that, I motion to approve.
Motion and a second. Please vote. Motion carries.
Next is M&C 24-0929.
Councilmember Blaylock.
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second. Please vote. Try one more time, Charlie. Motion carries.
Mayor, that concludes all of the action items for today.
Thank you. And we do have a closure in honor of Mr. Mark Pop Knowles. Mark Knowles, known as Pop, was a crossing guard at Lily B. Clayton Elementary School who sadly passed away last week. Pop was an incredible crossing guard and a positive influence on students, greeting them after school with lollipops, dressing up for the holidays, and even brought snow cone trucks to surprise them after school. Mark also served as a TCU security guard after retiring to give back to his community. We extend our heartfelt condolences to his wife, Elizabeth, the Lily B. Clayton family, and the TCU's family. With that, meeting is adjourned.